Hello there, sword friends. Today I'm going to share the final result of a fancy custom sword project with you. This is a katana by Bob Engnath. It's been polished by Josiah Boomershine, who also made a habaki, mounted up by the Mystery Man in Black, who made the scabbard, did the wrap on the Ito, made the Suga core as well, and then this is adorned with antique and I believe papered Fuchikashira. The Suba as well as an antique, and then the Minuki are, I believe, modern cast pieces that blended quite well with the bat theme. I'll tell you a little bit about how I got the sword, kind of how the theme came together, and hopefully it is of interest to you. Eventually I will be selling this. It's not the right size for me, but it is a very compelling sword, and I'll tell you who I think might be interested in it. Depending on when you watch this, it may or may not be for sale anymore, but I'll link in the description while I have it up on eBay. But anyway, do know that this, I knew it wouldn't be one for me to keep because it was never the right size, but it doesn't stop me from really enjoying the sword. So as is traditional, go soup to nuts, top to bottom, tell you about some of the bits here. So first we have a Kashira. It's a bat themed. It's got some cool spider webs and bats on it. This was a set of Fuchikashira that I got in, well, with a different sword. It was actually supposed to go on a different Howard Clark blade, but it wasn't the right size. It was meant to fit on a Japanese blade, something a little more lighter, daintier, and I didn't, well, it's tough to find modern reproduction swords or modern swords from manufacturers that make them today that are going to fit with antique Japanese furniture. They tend to be a little bit on the smaller side, but this one absolutely would, and I'll show you that blade in a moment. Anyway, it's got a lot going on. They're really quite a nice set of Fuchikashira. They have texture and dimension and kind of golden detailing on them that is really appealing to look at. They are fit on in such a way that is quite nice. It's a freshly custom mounted sword, and you see the ska. It's done in black leather, and it's done in a katate-maki style, so like a battle wrap. On one hand we have the Minuki over here, and then we have the Minuki over here kind of in the traditional spots. There's not a lot of kind of twisted maki area here, so this feels pretty small in terms of a grip, and I will tell you, I really actually like the way this feels. It feels very comfortable in the hand, very smooth, elegant, but at the same time the leather is grippy in a way, so it feels pretty solid in my hand. The Minuki are bats. They don't have the same level of detail that the antique pieces do, but they are handsome all unto themselves. The knots are really well done. This looks like very high quality leather, not the kind of stuff that you typically see on a lot of reproduction swords. The Ito looks very nice, and it's also very tight, and it feels excellent in the hand. The shaping on this one is narrow. It feels like an antique in my hand almost, and I really like it. I feel instantly like I can get a good solid purchase on it, and I can get the blade exactly where I want it to go. It indexes well and feels pretty solid in the hand. The Fuchi has the bat and spider web theme on it as well, and there's some other bats kind of hidden in here. It's got a lot of stuff going on in the Fuchi. Those are really, I think, the prize fittings. The Suba has a bat theme to it as well. It's patinaed. I wouldn't mind if I, refreshed it and made it a little bit blacker, but I digress. It matches with the Fuchikashira, and it too has the bat with gold detailing on it. So thematically, the bat and spider and moonlight and clouds and stuff is preserved all around here. The saya is a simple black gloss saya, and there's not much going on here. There's no craziness here other than it is a well-made black gloss saya, and it has a horn, koijiri, kurigata, koiguchi on it. Now, initially I thought that this would be like the Batman katana, and I thought about like what kind of crazy stuff can go on the scabbard, and I left it up to the Mystery Man in Black and said, do whatever you think is right. And I think he made the right choice here. This doesn't look like a bat-themed eyesore. This looks like what the Batman samurai would carry. It's black on black with some blacky black and not a lot of stuff that's going to pull your eyes in or cause a reflection, and it is light and very elegant and tasteful. So I do think it's the right choice. I'm kind of struggling, like I just don't like the idea of doing a plain black saya. Something about a custom sword to me just needs to have more, but I really do struggle to think what would be better on here than what is there. And the way it all seems to blend in, honestly, I think is absolutely the right choice, and I can't think of what would be better. Even though part of me feels like something is missing, I think it was the right choice here because it is created aesthetically at a distance, just on black with some blacky black looking sword. When you come up though, it feels great in the hand and has some subtle details here in the furniture that you're not distracted by in the scabbard. Anyway, I also think it's like what Batman would want if he were a samurai, right? Not just a Batman symbol on the saya. As I move down, Josiah Boomershine made the habaki here. It's really tasteful and well done. Has a little bit of a scratch pattern or a pattern to it. Josiah also did the polish. This has, well, a very lovely polish because Josiah is very competent at polishing. And the blade is made by Bob Engnath. If you're unfamiliar, Bob Engnath passed away a number of years ago, but he was a prolific swordsmith and one of the early pioneers of doing hamon work on Japanese-style swords. And as I understand it, he tutored a lot of people in how to do it, or at least gave some advice to a number of the smiths today that we have work we really admire and enjoy. So he was respected in the community, and he also made just a bunch of cool stuff. I've gotten a much deeper appreciation for what Bob Engnath's capabilities were, his versatility as a smith, because I've gotten to see so much of his work lately. He made some erratic, crazy hamons with weird, ghosty features in them. He made very elegant gnome hamon. He did complex shapes and very simple shapes. He did big, beefy swords and long swords and short swords and little dainty, delicate ones like this. Incidentally, this sword is almost like an Iaito. It has a deeper curve than most Iaito do, which means it's going to cut, but it's not going to win you any competitions. And it's also light. It feels very lively and light in the hand. It is a practitioner's blade. If you were looking for a Japanese-style sword to practice Iaito with, and you wanted something kind of tastefully done with nice components and pieces and talented people working on it, that I think is who is going to be drawn to this sword. The bat theme is awesome, don't get me wrong, but if you wanted a sword to move around, this is ideal to practice with. It is just absolutely delightful feeling in the hand, and made by a lot of competent people involved in the work. Again, Josiah, a very competent habaki maker and polisher, the mystery man in black doing the mounting, and then Bob Engnath, a man who's no longer with us, but whose memory lives on in the steel he created here. So lots of cool stuff going on here. So anyway, that's the sword. I will tell you, I do plan on selling it. I knew this sword was never my size. It doesn't mean I don't really like it. So at some point I'll have it up on eBay or something like that. It may not be available when you watch this video, but hopefully the video gave you some idea of cool stuff that you might be able to do in future sword projects. This one I need to noodle on for a little bit though while I have it. It's so pretty, and it's a very interesting feeling sword in the hand, not just because it moves really, really well. A lot of modern blades tend to be on the more robust side, and this is one of the more nimble, light ones that I've experienced. Just the curvature, how it moves, the tip presence it has. It's a very, like, it feels longer than it is. It's not a particularly long sword, but it feels like my reach is a little more than it normally is. Anyway, very, very pleasant sword. I hope you enjoyed the video. That's all I got. Cheers, and thanks for watching.